them. You know, and guys were shocked. I mean, these are guys who don't have a college degree, but they're able to do such a thing. We've seen how many people have we seen, someone comes up with a ventilator. Someone has done an aeroplane. It might not be the best or whatever, but I mean,
given the resources and the
it shows you the potential of these guys. So
I
mean, if you can be able to bring resources to them and give them a challenge and resource them enough, then these guys can be able to do stuff. And because they reside from that society, they know those unwritten rules, those assumptions that normally you would not, the peculiarity of a particular society. If you look, let's say, for example, at news currently, there's a reason why Ghetto Radio imeshika. I mean, the mainstream can try
at the grassroots.
But the guy knows mtaani proper, knows the language, knows what
is happening, what is trending.
Yes, and he's
even how to relate the news
to people so they can understand it.
So I mean,
the kind of music people listen to.
I mean, so mtu anapenda doba, anataka kusikia doba daily, hataki kusikia R&B, hataki kusikia nini. So I mean, so I think we need to, as a society, we need to be able to, leave no one behind.
Yes.
So that tech doesn't become an elitist sector that is always like that spoiled kid who is demanding for a lot but can't show value. So as a county government, we want to be able to do that. Of course, we can be able to do that because it's government. We are not looking at ROI as such.
You're patient.
And all these matrices that go with business. So we can be able to, through affirmative action, even direct resources from corporates, from other players to go mashinani. And ultimately, that's how we can be able to build the ecosystem.
Something very interesting that, and maybe it's a comment. I have noticed, for example, there are usually these, let me call them the usual suspects, where everyone goes to innovate. But also, is it something that we may really have to think very hard about as an ecosystem when you're looking about technology and saying, what are we doing about technology and music? Because if you go to Eastlands, there's Genge. How are they distributing their music? How are they distributing their art forms? Or if it's sports, or if it is, so how do we, as you are saying, how do we innovate technology so that it is next to the Mwananchi? If I'm doing distribution of eggs, there's technology that can support me. And so I don't need to build blockchain. I can go and build, because that's, I think, how the developed countries have gone ahead. You'll find that if you are in sports, the amount of technology to make sure you are playing football.
And you start locally and then scale.
Yes. And even if you look at those, all of us probably will love the English Premier League. All those teams are from villages or, estates.
Towns.
Towns. So, and each of them is innovating and giving, a local solution. I mean, it's something we may have to go really deeper, given that if you look at Eastlands, a lot of the best footballers are coming from Eastlands.
Yes.
How come there's no way of bringing this and extending that? Musicians, artists, the graffiti guys. There's a time I was looking at some blogger doing graffiti. He's selling one of his pieces. And this is online for like $14. And you can keep buying the copy. In other words, 100 people can buy that copy. And I like the idea that Governor Sakaja was saying, why are we eliminating graffiti on our matatus? As an example. So I think for me, it's just a comment that technology may have to become even more, look at the overlooked areas and try to bring value out of that.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. The reason why I said our theory of change is to decentralize resources is exactly that. Have a hub in Kibra where innovators are able to solve for Kibra. Remember, at the same time, corporates are also, or even CSOs, are in Kibra trying to solve problems.
Interesting.
So why can't you just, say for example, AMREF is in health. They're trying to solve for maternal deaths or prenatal deaths. They're trying through different programs, partnering with different other stakeholders. Let's, for example, say we put a hub at Mbagathi Hospital, bring AMREF, and bring young people from the Kibra area, and just sit and do a hackathon of sorts on how they can be able to identify the challenges they face. The county government can be able to give data to back those assumptions.
Interesting.
You have an innovator who is sitting on this side and is like, looking at this data and this customer journey, these are the solutions. Whether it's blockchain, AI, I don't care.
Yes.
As long as it's solving the problem.
Whether it's USSD, I mean, we try to romanticize the technology.
The solution,
Yeah, it's not romance.
Yeah.
It's just apply the technology on data, on challenges, and someone is able to pay for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everyone gets value, we move on. Then that you can, of course, scale to other societies. But the sole focus of saying, we want VC money. We want VC, we want to fundraise, we are in series what? We have runway. I always say the best revenue in business school
Is cash from your customers.
is revenue.
True.
I mean, your retained profit is the cheapest refinancing money that you can get. Not runway. Runway is good, but on a validated model that we are just saying, I just need extra resources to
Scale
grow
this.
fast.
Yeah.
But it doesn't replace a customer.
Yeah.
I mean, so we can get VC money to accelerate getting more customers on a validated thing, but it can't be just perpetually. And this can work in other jurisdictions. We've seen, startups in the West fundraise, and they even write on their prospectus that we don't see ourselves being profitable in the next 5 years, and they still get the
raise
money.
money.
You try that in Africa.
That problem.
You can't.
You need to change that.
I mean, you can't. So then, if that's the mindset that you take as a startup, and you are like, I'm looking at Facebook, I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at Instagram, I'm looking at ChatGPT, and you are trying to run with that model, you will crash and burn. I mean, so as Africa, we need to define what is it our problems are, where the resources are. The problem, if people are buying land, we can see buildings coming up every other day. The thing is, you can't just scold them and say, we are here. You're not organized.
Interesting.
I mean, you can't take Amze who has land and you're like, you need to invest in me. I mean,
But Chief, that statement is controversial because someone will say the rate at which the buildings are coming up is the rate at which we are losing money through corruption.
I agree. I agree. There are two sides to that coin. So not everyone in Kenya is a thief.
That's
True.
So there are people who've worked hard who have made their money.
Yes.
Maybe, for example, in real estate, because that's the business that they understand.
Yes.
They know the ROI. They can see that the risk is not as high. But that language, startups are not able to communicate. We don't have an environment that is structured enough for them to invest without risking their capital.
Yes.
I mean, so we need to be able to make efforts around the same because there is a lot of wealth that sits in Nairobi.
Yes.
True.
So just being able to convince, you can't convince them if every day you are getting grant money,
Yes.
you're getting VC money from out. I mean, and you don't even dare care to explain what it is that you're doing. I know of a
So there are
startup.
some startups that are in Nairobi that the only objective is to
raise
raise the
money.
next seed round or
Then they drive around saying they're rich. I mean, so we know a lot of startups who even say, I mean, I don't even have time to do an interview such as this. Because they are busy. I'm in Series A, Series B.
Yes,
I'm fundraising.
convincing somebody
boss,
to
I
give
don't
them
have
money.
time for you. You've experienced such things. So, but if you look at the brand in terms of a name and go mtaani, no one knows them.
Yeah.
But it's because they have these vanity matrices that they give. Our runway is this. Africa is growing. Middle class is growing. And of course, if someone is sitting on the other side of the globe, because they have no experience in Africa, and I mean, they can burn a bit of cash, they can be able to give that. But you see those companies going bust. They can't go more than 5 years.
Yeah. So talking about fundraising, there are two sides of the coin, right? There is a startup side which it's doing really well despite all the
challenges.
The challenges, and also there is the venture capital side. What most startup would agree here is that Kenya or Africa tech ecosystem for the last 5 years, Nigerians are leading the way, whereby in UK, Nigerians are coming together, pulling some fund together and investing back at home. And that's very good. It's quite impressive. And that's why you see most of the money started going to Nigeria side of things. So can we even start locally to pool the money, organize ourselves as VCs, start investing? Because I've seen people come together and build skyscrapers and all that.
Yeah.
But can we really invest even in tech? Because you see, tech can actually scale. But building, you have to build wherever you want the building to exist. So from your experience, what do you think can be done on that side?
So the question that even when we were drafting the startup bill was, show me the numbers in terms of, you're saying that startups are scaling, startups in Kenya are taking 17% of all VC capital coming into Africa. But it's not translating to GDP. So if that money is being, if the check is being
Is it
cut,
a front that somebody left their country, came to a place
So
you
if
can
you're-
get money easier, then money went to them?
So then that's the question. So for me, that's the question is, yes, if you say $500 billion came into this economy, you'd feel it.
Yes.
Yes,
I wish it
absolutely.
was Sakaja
Absolutely.
or Ruto was seated
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
I could educate him a little bit. But I know this will get to them.
I know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So we talk about money coming into,
Yes, into the ecosystem.
but the question is, are you,
where does it
Are you
go?
feeling
because
Yeah.
either you'd see it under payroll, you'd
People
see
would
it,
get hired.
either payroll or VAT or corporate tax. I think the only
Or even value chains. You can
Yeah.
say, okay, suddenly there's this new value chain. All the mamambogas are growing.
Twiga is the top medium
Triggers an example.
medium taxpayer.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, and we can see, the aggregation center, we can
Yes.
see the value chain. I mean,
Yes,
you can
yes,
be able
yes.
to quantify that.
Yes.
So I mean, that's a challenge by itself, but I will just leave it there.
Another, before you leave it there, is it also something to do with the capacity of the startups? Like the startups are not understanding how to build their solution, place it in the market, get the right speed of traction.
I think the challenge that is there is that money.
I agree with you that there is money here. But Amze, with his 20 million, would rather buy a land because he can sit there. Yani, the ecosystem has not given them the confidence that this money will vamoose. Will
Yes, yes.
disappear.
So there are two sides to that coin. Is that there is systemic challenges
Okay.
in terms of the business environment that can allow that money to be deployed without getting taxes.
Okay.
So that money is written. It's
Now we are
reported.
talking the hard stuff. Now we are talking the real.
That's where now I wanted us to
are
get,
getting-
because also if I'm a VC, I mean, San Francisco have invested in an African startup.
Yes.
Number one thing I can assure, even if I was black,
Yes.
I don't want my money to come to Kenya.
Oh, are you serious?
You can only withdraw what you need from Citibank in New York.
I
And
see your
you have to
point.
justify the milestone, and that's how
I
now
see
the
your
money
point.
does not reflect
I
in
see
the
your
ecosystem.
So you are saying that this money
Yes.
has been given.
Yes.
But I have given you the checkbook, but it will remain in
The first rule, open
in
a bank.
Bank of New York Mellon.
Exactly. Yes.
I will send you what you need at the time you need
When
it.
you need it. So that's challenge number one. Number two is that the government always opens highs on the tax side of things.
Yeah.
They forget that if people get hired, at the end of the day, they'll spend the money here.
Okay.
And they do not really support that as it is. But I think it's good that I saw even the president himself saying that no notebooks, no pens here.
Yeah.
Let's have some iPads or some tablets.
Yes.
Let's take our notes so that if you want to send an email, if you
Yes.
want to record a meeting, it's there and you can actually have some logs around it.
I see.
Which is a good step towards the right stage. But also, I think there is policy side of things that needs to
Yeah.
be refined.
Yeah, I mean, so usually, from a government perspective, if you are, or even if it's business, you want to give incentives to a certain sector.
Yes.
The question that you always ask is, what is the return? What is the economic return of
True,
the
true.
sector
Yeah.
to the economy?
Yeah.
So on one side, the startup ecosystem has not been very good at giving the actual numbers in terms of now outside of Twiga and outside of talking about M-Pesa.
Yeah.
Because every time you look at a research paper
Yes.
and you want to justify startup ecosystem,
There's no data.
there is always M-Pesa.
Only that's the that's the
M-Pesa,
only
the
data
impact
available.
of M-Pesa is. But we have a lot of startups that have been here for years.
Yes.
I mean, so you want to tell me they've
Are
been
you-
operating for 7 years?
Are you
here?
talking about Africa still?
I was seeing. But before I even say something, Chief, there's something I had. And the first time we had a meeting with Victor, we told him,
Yes, yes.
Victor, we are in Nairobi County.
Yes.
We have never felt included in this,
A lot of things happen, but we are
and we
always
are really
left out.
yeah, and a lot of startups are really putting effort, but they never feel like me. I'm in Nairobi County. Nairobi County is giving me some time of day.
Yeah.
I think there's something there that could be very interesting.
And by the way, the recent
But, yeah.
example, sorry, before Victor goes,
Yes.
you could see the Soko Watch, which is now
Yes,
Wasoko, right?
Wasoko, yeah.
When they got an opportunity to operate tax-free in Zanzibar, what did they do?
They went.
took it. Actually, they were ready to
I think
pay
they got
for...
$165 million.
And then Zanzibar was
Open for business.
Yes, they were welcoming startups to parade there, tax-free for some time.
Also, developers love the climate.
Yes.
I mean,
there are those things that actually we could learn from our
so that's what I'm
neighbors.
saying. Like I said, one of the key outcomes for my sector is policy.
Yes.
And just having to talk about startup policy in a very practical way.
Yes.
So what we've seen across many African nations, Tunisia, Senegal, etc., is just looking at the startup bill in terms of saying we want to be able to have
even Nigeria, I think, is coming up with a startup bill.
So they actually passed it. I mean, just seeing how can we be able to support startups.
Yes.
So from a practical perspective, and this is how we've tried to organize the county, at least from a startup perspective, is we want to be able to support startups per sector. So when you talk about challenges within regulation, challenges that a startup in education is facing and one that is in fintech or agri are different based on existing constitution and laws. So for me, even as we move forward in terms of conversations, is how can I as Nairobi County enable startups within fintech to be able to move the needle. So we have conversations with Tala, Aspira, and the Digital Financial Lenders Association on how we can be able to support them. That's fintech, and they are able to raise these are the top challenges. If we're able to give a case, because the thing is, you can't do mandamano with tech or with government or with, government has very limited physical space.
Especially now.
Yes. To be able to give tax breaks.
Yes.
But numbers don't lie. If we come as fintech or if we come as edtech and say, look, we've done our own audit. We are 10 of us. Our pay is this. Our V8 is this. Our challenge is 1, 2, 3 things within the law. If you unlock for us this, our turnover is going to move by X. So if you give me a tax break of this, this is your return. That's the language. That's the language that we need to start using as the innovation ecosystem for us to be able to start justifying, support. Otherwise, sometimes
so is there a part there where startups are not doing their homework?
But even before that, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic.
reality.
So here we have startups, 10 of them, right? Number one struggle is to make sure that, revenue keeps coming in. We are opening business in different places. We are reaching out to our customers. We are offering support. We are paying salaries on time. Sometimes we are taking salary breaks. If you don't know that goes a lot in tech. Things are not working. And remember also the other policy that actually, if we're in communication, right?
Yes.
For you to operate there, you need some licenses.
Regulator.
You have to comply. You have to renew it severally. There are all those things. Then, here we have an idea. Government, we are remitting
Are those challenges unique to you only?
No, we are saying now 10 startups. I'm bringing the point home.
I agree.
Now we have this and you feel like, we are a bit... in a corner, and you need maybe a tax break to be able to operate.
Yes.
Who do we talk to?
Victor.
So you are saying the world today has changed.
Yes. Now, even if you want to address this situation, this was my point.
Yes.
Where do you start?
Yes.
Because even if I talk to Victor will tell me I'll talk to Sakaja. Then Sakaja maybe will need to refer to the county
chief.
To the county assembly so that he has something that is agreed upon that is good for Nairobi businesses too. If you are a startup, maybe 6 months tax break or 2 years tax break, and then now it's confirmed by the chief there, and then the chief takes it to the parliament, and the parliament takes it to the Senate.
So let me break assumptions here.
Please.
Yes.
If you look at the world over, any businesses, whether they're in tech or they're in agriculture, deal with government through lobbying.
Okay.
There is no way you can lobby as a single startup. So the question that you have is your business registered in any association, not necessarily even KEPSA.
Yes.
Interesting.
The
last thing people think about.
I was almost mentioning KEPSA.
Startups don't even think about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You say you are smart. even do the guys are in association.
Yes. Even Juakali, we met
Juakali guys,
chief yesterday.
Ombua.
Yes.
Every single person is in an aggregated as formation of sorts.
Yeah.
Except tech. Tech,
Interesting.
people are individual. I'm building this unique thing.
Yes.
I don't have time. I'm coding, boss. You can't even bring the product to market, leave alone even just lobbying. So we need to also look at tech as a business. There is no free lunch. Yeah, I mean, Victor it's only that my mandate is startups, but a lot of policy players have a million things that they're doing at the same time.
Yes. And they're listening to the guy the loudest.
I mean, so you get a formation of security guys who are a million. They say we are a million of us. We want to be heard.
Yeah.
Government will listen. But if there is no formation in one way or another, whether you're in, whether you join KEPSA, whether you join KNCCA, whether you join CAM, whatever association that is there, that's your first, area of defense.
Yes.
So you can be busy, but we can get 2-3 people.
Yeah, and even you can even elect your representatives. So when you're busy, they are also busy.
So that's
interesting.
That's the only way in which you can be able to lobby
government for support.
And just having conversations.
Yeah.
Same conversation I was having with blockchain. So we have the tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
Then we have this very many verticals.
Yes.
Guys in AI, guys in blockchain who are like both CEO to Web3. I mean, we are special.
Yes.
Then we have deep tech who are saying, these guys of tech. Then we have IoT hardware guys who are like, boss, we feel left out.
We are the best.
We are left out. I mean, we need to be able to. But all of them don't have anywhere or anybody that is trying to push for their agenda. Put those numbers down.
Yeah.
How many are we? What kind of impact do we have?
Yes.
Can we be able to have roundtables with policy players?
Yes.
Do you have a point where you can maybe even write a letter to the governor and like, this is the, Digital Lenders Association, these are the Blockchain Association of Kenya. We just want audience. We want to be able to just have conversations around, what we are doing and how we can be able to support the county. What you do is you hide in Kilimani, you hide in Riverside, you hide whatever, and just say, things are not good, etc. I mean, so these
are very important insights.
So there's the responsibility on both sides. Of course, from government, we need to be able to go out and have conversations with the community, and that's why you've seen me from January till now. I am never in City Hall. Even guys in City Hall like, boss, you are a digital chief at Kuoni City Hall. And I'm like, there is no work at City Hall. My work is...
You're working like a startup. Get out of the building.
Yes, I mean, so there is responsibility both ways, and everyone has to do their job.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't have a national. We have a couple of associations. We have Blockchain Association of Kenya. We have Association of Startups of SMEs and Enablers of Kenya. We have Country-wide Innovation Hubs. We have so many lobbying groups that are working at cross purpose, and all of them are in the tech ecosystem. So then, as a government, I don't want to meet 10 people. I want one meeting where we bring all your issues, we consolidate, we allocate it to, if it's a bill, we put it through cabinet, it goes, it becomes law, or you can go to National Assembly directly through, of course, a lobby group and get things done.
But I have a controversial statement towards that. So there is KMPDU, which takes care of the medics and the nurses.
Yes.
We have Bwana Atuoli and Kotu. Right? Someone would argue and say, we have seen them, lobby and even end up striking. All of us have seen it, right?
Yes, that's true.
And we have seen them come on our media, mainstream media, and say the strike is over. But the issues have not been addressed. And some few smart guys have said, money has exchanged and what happens. And maybe tech startups are afraid of that. Like, why should we have a lobby group? Give some few people an opportunity. And also now there is the music associations whereby people get the money, eat all the money, and the person who is putting in the work.
In fact, music is the best example of how the association can play that.
Yes. So I agree with you 100% that there needs to be an organization, right? But also I feel like government or governments, now that we have 47 counties and the national government, should be more proactive in a way of addressing some of these things. And the reason why I feel this is very important is because we can all agree that we cannot progress further in any industry if we do not include digitization, tech, and also innovation in everything that we do. May it be agriculture, may it be industry, may it be electrification,
sports.
may it be sports, may it be music, may it be entertainment, any sector you think about. Digitization is not an option. So government should say, for instance, I'll give a case in point, collecting taxes alone. If it was well digitized, and we cannot agree it is not, because if you and I, if we have struggle of doing the return, right? If you make a small error, you have to call, I don't know how many people, you have to get an appointment, you have to write an email. Imagine now, if maybe 10% or 30% of us are the one who are elite. Now imagine the rest.
Tech smart.
That means someone will be discarded from doing return. It's not because they don't love their country or they don't want to remit tax or anything, but because the processes themselves are not refined. And we can actually include step by step, and it's good that you are leading these efforts at the Nairobi County, that we should be intentional about addressing the 360 view of all these issues.
I agree. So the first point
Yes.
is even if other associations are not working,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that you can't start your own and do the right thing. So of course in Kenya, associations are formed for different objectives. If you feel like the music, whatever association is not working for you, go form another one, which can do the right thing. Within the tech ecosystem, we don't have a coordinated way in which we engage government. I mean, that's truth be told. When there was a cyber attack the other day, I mean, if, let's say, for example, the government or the PS wanted to meet people within
practitioners,
where would they get them?
Good point.
I mean, so
I was watching some TV news. I'm like, what, does this guy know what he's saying? But he's like me, I'm in the tech ecosystem.
I mean, you could see fire on WhatsApp groups. This, that.
Yes.
But when, government wants to engage people within cyber, where do you start? Is there an association that you can say, talk to this cyber security association? These are practitioners that can sort you immediately.
And that thing lasted almost 3 or 4 days.
And in WhatsApp groups, guys are commenting, hey, there is no infrastructure for fighting cyber. I mean, you are sitting on the fence, you are in a WhatsApp group, you're not forming anything, you're just, I will not say whatever casting aspersions, but doing nothing out of that. So I mean, so even from a Nairobi County perspective, and I realized that as a county, is that we needed to engage. One of my key outcomes is to be able to systematically engage the tech ecosystem. And even as I do that, I'm engaging different verticals. Someone is in, I mean, is in, these are private, these are maybe co-working spaces. Maybe Nairobi Garage is not part of ASEC, which is the Association of Startup and SME Enablers of Kenya, which is an association that is standing for all co-working spaces and private incubation centers. They are not in that space. You go, I mean, there is a Blockchain Association of Kenya. And even if you go to blockchain and Web3, we have 3 different associations within blockchain. So even if you wanted to engage in a systematic way, how do you do that if the other side is not organized? So I mean, there is that aspect that has to happen. Your second point, in terms of tech being a solution, you can be the most beautiful woman or the most handsome man and wink to your potentials in the dark. If you wink in the dark, are they going to see? So there is this potential that is there within tech, but is not being translated, or there is information asymmetry from a government perspective. So me as a government officer who's working to achieve my own goals, I have my way of doing things that I've done for years and years.
And they have worked.
And they have worked, and they continue to work. And here Graham is like, boss, you are inefficient. You're inefficient. I mean, has Graham come to me and given an opportunity for us to be able to discuss and get rejected? a lot of guys are like pitch deck, elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to be able to systematically find a way, and it goes back to lobbying.
Yes.
In which we can be able to have an audience and just request. You see, KEPSA has the presidential roundtable. They have a roundtable with the CJ. They have a roundtable.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just to be able to convey.
They are ready for any eventuality. They have an audience.
Yeah. So it's just a question of requesting. Would want to speak to the president. We have a lot of issues.
Yes.
They curate those issues,
including providing solutions to the government ahead of international companies.
Yes. So
International companies will come in ahead of even solutions that are here, but because you can't have an audience with the decision makers.
Even for his audience, he has a million things that he's doing.
Yes.
You have to make it worthwhile.
Yes,
I mean, you can't be the spoiled kid who says,
Why are you
I'm
not
tech,
sending
I
me?
have all the solutions. Guys are calling me from CNN, etc.
Yes.
I mean, but you're not recognizing me. So there has to be a responsibility that you have to put in the work. The way you put work in terms of building your tech, building your whatever solution, you have to make effort to reach market. How many solutions do you have that someone would say, I invented this thing 5 years ago, but you didn't have
You didn't put it in ahead of someone to buy
effort
it.
to reach market. The same market has to be, you have to be able to make the same effort.
And government is 70% of market.